Today, we're going to be going over the best team you can have in MLB the Show 25. We make a few of these videos every single month as the game constantly is updating, adding new cards here, adding new cards there. And the number one question I get every single stream: what is the best player at this position? What is the best player at this position? So we're going to go over each position. I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 different alternatives that you can use. I know people in the comments all the time filter their alternatives. So make sure to go down there and comment what you guys are thinking as well. And while you're on your way to the comments, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, as we're going to do this sort of shit every single day. Now, starting with my squad, as you can see on the board, on the screen in front of you, left fielder, I don't think there's any debate. Ted Williams, the best left fielder in the game. Obviously, he's very expensive. Obviously, he's very hard to get. This isn't going to be a card for everybody, so I'm going to give you some alternatives at left field. Left field is a very, very thin position. You're not getting many options at left field. Let's be honest. So you're going to have to get creative here. My number one option, though, is going to be Jaron Dern. I think he is a very, very good left fielder for now. Great in the outfield. Great speed. He has a good swing as well. Good clutch. Obviously, the power is a little bit lackluster, but I think nonetheless, good swing, good speed, and good fielding makes up for that. James Wood is another really good swing. Just a little bit tall at the 6'7" mark, so if you don't like a big body, that could be a problem. But for the most part, I feel like these two guys should be your main options. And then also, I know he's still a little bit pricey for some people, but for the most part, his price has absolutely tanked. I don't know where he is right now. Out of position, I got to go with my guy, Byron Buxton. I still think out of position, he's a very viable card right now. 105 clutch, 107 power right, 106 contact left. Good swing. One of the best swings in the game, period. He's one of the best swings in the game, period. He played great for me. Bat 403 for me in 185 plate appearances. He's an absolute dog, and out of position, he still plays very well at left field if you don't have a good left fielder like Ted Williams. Center fielder, Carlos Beltran. No questions asked, but I got someone today ask me who's a better budget option. I think if you're going with another best card in the game, I think Evan Carter needs to be in the conversation. Obviously, again, the power left is lackluster, but this is like literally putting Corbin Carroll from right field into center field, but also has a great swing. Evan Carter has a fantastic swing. Obviously, his gold card, a lot of people used in the co-op, but again, 105 clutch is great. 103 power. The only thing lackluster is his power left, but he still has a very good swing to make up for it. So I think he's a very solid option. I would stay away from the Luis Roberts of the world. I'd stay away from a lot of these guys. Byron Buxton is another great option if you want Byron Buxton out there. I feel like I still really like him. That's kind of the main guys. PCA still is kind of a viable option, but for now, I'd probably rock those main guys. Right field, I have Lance right now. He's not batting great for me, but he's a good card. I don't know if he's undoubtedly the best. He's definitely better than Sammy Sosa, but the other one I would argue is Bryce Harper. I had a lot of success with Bryce Harper. I might go back to even Bryce Harper, but Bryce Harper is a great option. I think Bryce and Lance are the clear top 2 at the right field spot. I think Sammy Sosa is honestly not that good. Sammy Sosa does have a great swing. Some people might really like him. Righty and lefty meta, sure. If you love Sammy Sosa, I'm not going to tell you to completely go off him, but I think Bryce and Lance, Berkman, I don't know what I've been saying. Berkman are by far the 2 best right fielders in the game right now. I think that's kind of my guys. And again, Sammy's free though, so again, can't knock that. Gil Hodge is obviously best first baseman. I don't think there's too much argument there across the board. But some other options that you can have. I like Eddie, low-key. Always have liked Eddie's swing. He plays above his stats. I've played against him a few times. He's a card that I don't love going against as he's a switch hitter. I wouldn't really recommend him too much. I wouldn't say he's by far and away the best first baseman. I think there's other guys I would kind of have over him. I think if you put Carlos Santana to this first base spot, it's also really good. Outside of Gil, I think you can also use Nolan Arenado out of position, and he works just fine at first base. I know a lot of people have very heavy third bases. There's a lot of third basemen in this game, so Arenado definitely works at first base, and he's a great card to have. Great swing, great fielding all around. That's kind of where I would go with that. Trey Turner at second base, I think, is by far and away the best second baseman. Other option is Jackson Holiday. I like Jackson Holiday. I bat really well with Jackson Holiday. A little bit too well with Jackson Holiday, but he's a very good card that you can add in there. Another card that I would say probably Brian Roberts, Ketel Marte are very good options, but I think Trey Turner by far and away is the best option to have at that second base spot. Shortstop, we're going to go with Bo Bichette. Is not the number one option. I still think it's Willie Castro is the number #1 option. I don't have him on the squad right now. Willie's a switch hitter, 125, damn near across the board once you P5 him. But the same thing with Bo Bichette. I think Bo Bichette's in the arguments. I know a lot of people still kind of write him off. But, I mean, when you have 125 contact left, 106 contact right, 105 power left, 93 power right, 125 clutch, and he plays solid defense for me, and he's batting .440 with me in 223 plate appearances. Like, that's nuts. Absolutely rakes the ball. It's a lefty meta. He has a 125 left, 125 clutch. Like, he's going to rake lefties. I just really like him in this meta. I think some other good options, obviously Corey Seager. Everyone loves Corey Seager. I love Corey Seager. He's the next best option. I think those three, between Seager, Bo, and Castro, you can kind of flip any of those guys and then be successful. Scott Rowland at third base, I still think is the best third baseman. I think Vladdy does make a very good push. I almost have him P5. Shout out. I think Vladdy is a very, very good option there as well. Arenado would be my next guy up. I think have to have at third base if push came to shove. Johan's also is a very solid option if you need someone too. I'm trying to think of like other guys, maybe moving Seager to third. But I think nonetheless, Scott Rowland is the best third baseman. Now, Carlos Santana, I still think is the best catcher in the game. I know there's a lot of controversial opinions. You can have any of the following. You can have Adley Rutschman. You can have Jason Varitek. You can have any of those guys and any of the three of them, and I won't argue you one way or the other. Be like, hey, okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I will say he's better than the, like, Salvador Perez's, the Yamanis Grandal still. Like, those guys, I definitely feel very comfortable saying those guys are a tier above. But I think Santana still, in my opinion, is the best catcher, as his swing is absolutely amazing. 125 contact left with 121 clutch. He's going to be a card that stays in my lineup until there's a god tier catcher. DH, again, I have Vladdy, but I think there's a lot of options here. You can put Sammy here if you wanted to. The popular one is Rafael Devers right now. I love Devers. I think Devers is someone, though, for me that's hard right now because it's such a heavy lefty pitching meta, that if you're running a ton of Rafael Devers out there, you're going to run into a lot of lefties, so you just got to prepare to face lefty. Bryce Harper is another option or example of that. Another good one's Nick Castellanos. Again, a ton of lefties, so having a righty back could be very good in that DH spot. For starting pitchers, this is my rotation as of right now. Still, I still believe in every single one of these guys. I understand some people hate Nate Pearson. I still think he's a very good pitcher. Almost have him P5 here as well. I understand the ERA doesn't look great, but that's also very, very much in part to the fact that I played with him in an event game, and that got me absolutely raked. So outside the event game, he is doing really well for me. Dustin May still plays amazing. John Don still plays great. Al Leiter, I think, is the best pitcher in the game. I think Roger Clemens, of any of these guys, is probably my odd man out. I would not have Tariq Skubal on this list. I would not have Drew Rossman on this, or Rasmussen on this list. I would not have Sonny Gray on this list, but those all are very viable options. Yu Darvish, I haven't pitched with yet, so I can't really say if he's going to be on this tier. Randy, I don't think is on this tier still because of the no sinker thing. I think, like, I truly in my heart think, like, these are the top guys right now. You can mix in a Skubal if you absolutely love him, but I just don't really believe in him myself. You can mix in a few other starters that are on the auction house probably as well and be fine. I'm trying to think of guys that, like, realistically, like, you could play with. Soriano, I would not play with. Seaver is all right, but I really wouldn't recommend him. No one I definitely wouldn't recommend. Like, outside of that, Stroman stinks. Pedro's all right, but again, no sinker. It's really going to be who you feel confident with, but those are, like, my guys, and I truly think those are the top 5 guys that you can have at your starting pitcher rotation as of right now on July 1st when I'm recording this. Now, with that being said, on the bullpen, you can go a ton of different options in the bullpen, and I wouldn't be mad. I'm going to be honest, the bullpen I threw in, these guys I really like, but there are a ton of options in the bullpen. Like, Dennis Eckersley I should have in there somewhere. He's a really hard guy to hit. I should maybe switch out Jeff Hoffman by now. Hobby Milner shouldn't be in my lineup anymore. But, like, there's a ton of guys I can switch in and out for sure. This I'm not going to be very hard-assed about it. Like, this is guaranteed the best. The only ones that I think are still guaranteed the best, I think Darren O'Day is still the best. I think Danny Colombe is still one of the best. I think Andres Munoz is still one of the best. And I think Randy truly is really, really good. I think he's a really hard delivery to hit as well. I think those 3 guys are, like, my guys from hitting standpoints. Dennis Eckersley is also really hard to hit, so maybe you could add him as well. The other guy to add into this bullpen, if I could, would be Felix Bautista. He is by far and away probably the best reliever in the game. I've faced him 2 times, and in those 2 times, it has been impossible to hit him. He's so good. So I'd add him on this list as well. But outside of that, those are kind of like my guys. And again, there's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, this guy's better than this guy. From a catcher standpoint, you could add in like a Jorge Posada. You could add in some guys like that. Sure. If you want to add in a guy, make sure to drop in the comments down below. I can go back and forth with people. If you guys have questions on your team, I can also go back and forth with you guys. But this is my team. This is how I have the batting order. I liked, and you're going to be like, why is Gil in the 9 spot? I love having Gil in the 9 spot because then when I get to the 9, I go Gil, Trey, Beltran right back to back to back, and that is an awesome combo. Or I go Berkman, Gil, Trey. Either way, I kind of like having Gil at the back end to be a real home hammer there. And the front is so loaded anyway, it doesn't really matter. But this is kind of how I have it diced up there. In my opinion, this is the best team you can get as of right now in the game. The lightning card's going to change maybe a little bit of this, but the main one's going to be the 7-11 update. So make sure to stay tuned for that. That's the all-star update. I'm super excited for that to come out. We're going to have content on that as soon as it drops. But make sure if you enjoy this style content, you leave a like, you subscribe, also the function down below. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.